Sheldon, as the green flag flies, Harry Millard says, let's race up into turn one. This first of three Sportsman Division heat races gets quickly back under yellow, as Harry Millard not happy at all with the start there. And a couple of the guys not seeing the yellow, and they get bumping and backing off of turn number two. It looks like everybody's going to be okay, however. This time, down the front chute, up into turn number one. Looks like we're going to stay green, and this first of three Sportsman Division heat races is underway. Ron Blake in the Flynn's Pharmacy 44 grabs the early lead. Chris Kokosa takes over the number two spot. Behind them, it's tight racing down the backstretch with Jay Havlin in third. Jay Terry up on the high side. He's in the number four spot. He switches leads, drops down on the banking in turn four. He's going after the spot here in the front straightaway. Jay Havlin there for third place now. Jay Terry now swings to the high side. That opens up the inner lane for George Marcus. Marcus going to come down through on the inside, and then Jay Terry shuts the door. Terry, the number four running spot, looks for racing room on the inside of Jay Havlin. Down the back chute, up into turn number three. Havlin's got the spot. He's there for third place. Jay Terry in the number four running position. And now Fast Eddie Maxson gets up into the picture here as well. Your leader continues to be Ron Blake at the head of the field, but it's wild racing action further back of the pack. Your second place runner is a 00 car, Chris Kokosa. And look out as they touch. Jay Havlin and Jay Terry touch. Terry loses a couple of spots here as Eddie Maxson takes advantage down the back chute. And now George Marcus as well. But we stay green. Exciting Sportsman Division competition. And now one spins around up there in the banking in the west end of the speedway. That's Jeff Cassidy's 111 car looping it off of turn number three. We've got 3 laps officially complete with Ron Blake in the lead. And that spin up on the west end banking is going to bring out the yellow for the first time with the Sportsman cars. That is an indicator of the level of competition we're talking about. Harry Millard looks him over, ready to go back to green. He throws it. 3 laps now showing complete. Ron Blake at the head of the field goes to work again. This first of 3 Sportsman qualifiers. Chris Kokosa, the number 2 spot. Eddie Maxson and Jay Terry racing for third. Past Eddie Maxson. Takes over the number 3 spot, Jay Terry in the Wine Country Thatcher Street Pub, number 24, the number 4 running spot here. And here comes George Marcus. The Marcus brothers, number 91M in the number 5 running position. Behind him is Art Collins as a halfway marker is out. 4 laps are complete and 4 to go. Art Collins and George Marcus race side by side up into turn number 1. And we now have a 3-car race for second place. Out in front is Ron Blake. He's got a comfortable margin over second place man Chris Kokosa. But Fast Eddie Maxson and Jay Terry are all right there to challenge Kokosa up into turn 4. Then Eddie Maxson comes right to the rear deck of Chris Kokosa. Off of 4 down the front stretch they go. Chris Kokosa, the Stan and Brand Texaco sponsored 00 car. He's there for second. Eddie Maxson in the 83. He runs there for third, trying to find his way past down the back chute. Jay Terry now content to ride in number 4 spot. George Marcus there for 5th, and Art Collins at the tail end of that pack. He closes in a bit. He wants to get up in the things here as well, as it's a 5-car battle shaping up. 2 laps to go sign out over your lead cars here. Ronnie Blake in command. The Flynn's Pharmacy, number 44 out of Pittsfield, Mass. That race for second place. Chris Kokosa still there in the number 2 spot and fending off every challenge that Eddie Maxson throws at him here. Jay Terry right behind George Marcus and Art Collins. They run nose to tail, single file fashion off of turn 4. White flag comes out. 1 lap left for Ronnie Blake at the head of the field. Kokosa still in that number 2 running position. Jay Terry drops it down a notch in turn 2, trying to look underneath. Eddie Maxson down the back straightaway, comes right to his rear deck. Jay Terry, a good head of steam. Is there any racing room as he goes to the high side? George Marcus and Art Collins all close in. Art Collins looks down low. Checker flag comes out. Ronnie Blake picks up the victory. Finishing in second is Chris Kokosa. Eddie Maxson comes home in third. Jay Terry fourth, and George Marcus rounds out the top 5. And some great heat racing action in the sportsman class.
Mike Mikulski in the 88 and Hawley Smith in the 51 round out your field. Harry Millard waves the green flag. We're going racing up into turn 1, your front row. Brian Gerain and Kenny Bosberg come off of turn 2 side by side. Bosberg with the lead down the backstretch. Brian Gerain runs second. Rick Moffitt runs third. 4th spot, Bobby Hackle. And rounding out the top 5 at this time is Guy Sheldon. Remember, Guy Sheldon wants to get one of those qualified spots to start up as best he can here in front of Art Collins in tonight's feature event. Your leader continues to be Kenny Vosberg with the 29 off of turn 2 down the backstretch. Guy Sheldon now picking up one spot here as he gets by Rick Moffitt. Moffitt back to 5th. Eddie Burns runs 6th. We've got a caution out for Mike Mikulski down here in turn 2. Mikulski with the 88 coming to a stop down in turn 2. Picking up the pace a little early here over in turn 3. Now getting out of it in turn 4. Green flag flies down the front stretch. Vosberg is your leader. As he takes him up into turn 1, Vosberg the leader to 16 of Brian Gerain runs 2nd. Bobby Hackle rides 3rd. We got a car to 74 of Joe Carter up here in turn 2, but looks like he's going to be out of harm's way as he gets down to the inside. Back in 3rd spot, the 97 of Bobby Hackle. 4th position, a 518 of Guy Sheldon. And rounding out the top 5 is the 116 of Eddie Burns. Donnie Corellis now runs 6th. 7th spot, Davey Werber. And Rick Moffitt going at it. Moffitt taking the 7th spot back away from Werber. Werber now coming right back at him. So good racing back through the pack, but your leader, Kenny Vosberg, pulling out to about a 10-car length advantage up in turn 3 and 4 now off of turn 4. He'll come down this time to put lap number 3 in the books. Vosberg, your leader. Still single file. All behind him is Brian Gerain, Bobby Hackle, Guy Sheldon, and Eddie Burns follow suit. Now Donnie Corellis down to the inside of Eddie Burns. Corellis trying to make a bid for that 5th position down the backstretch. As now Guy Sheldon rockets down to the inside up in turn 3 to take spot number 3 away from Bobby Hackle. It'll be cross flags this time for Kenny Vosberg. 4 down, 4 to go for Vosberg. And now Guy Sheldon setting his sights on Brian Gerain. Sheldon with the 518 back in 3rd position, setting his sights on the back deck at that 16 of Brian Gerain. Sheldon with a good head of steam down the backstretch now makes the pass with ease, making it stick up into turn 3. So Guy Sheldon now your runner-up car. Brian Gerain running back in 3rd spot, 4th position is Bobby Hackle as the yellow lights come on the speedway for
Underwood's Feed the Children, all here for the Fall Funny Car Finals at the Tragway tomorrow afternoon, 2:30.
3 laps to go here in heat race number 2. Harry Millard waves the green flag. Guy Sheldon all over the backside of Kenny Vosberg. Vosberg up on the outside holds the spot through turns 1 and 2. Down the backstretch now Vosberg pulls about a 5-car length lead on Guy Sheldon. Sheldon back in 2nd, 3rd position, a 97 of Bobby Hackle. Eddie Burns has now moved up into 4th spot, but Brian Gerain fighting him for that position as they come down the front stretch now, 2 to go. Contact made here between Gerain and Burns. Donnie Corellis sitting right behind him, and Corellis backing out of it in order not to become involved. Corellis currently riding back in 6th position. So Corellis 1 spot out of qualifying at this time, going to work now on Brian Gerain for that 5th and final qualified position. White flag's going to fly this time by here for Kenny Vosberg, as Vosberg will take it down into turn 1. Your first 3 cars all up together. And a battle for that final qualified car continues to go on back there in the pack between Brian Gerain and Donnie Corellis. Gerain and Corellis battling for 5th position. Gerain holding it at this time, but now Corellis is going to battle him down into turn 3, taking it in deep into turn 3. Corellis trying to get the spot. Checkers out here. The winner is Kenny Vosberg. Guy Sheldon comes home 2nd. 3rd, Bobby Hackle. 4th position is Eddie Burns, and rounding out the top 5 is Donnie Corellis.
They are your scheduled starters for this 3rd and final Sportsman Division heat race qualifying event. Harry Millard throws the green flag, and quickly yellow comes on as the field was not properly assembled at all for the start here. So we immediately go. Harry Millard high atop the flag stand. Green flag in hand, ready to race here off of turn 4. Green is out, and we are underway. Tony Barrero from that front row starting position grabs an early lead up into turn 1. Sparky Lowe quickly moving up. He's your new 2nd place man. John Gray drops back to 3rd. Mike Dolan aboard the Firehouse Auto Parts number 26. He's there in the number 4 running spot. Then it's Joe Ficini in car 128. He's there for 5th. Lead cars run single file. Let's see a race shaping up for 5th place as Brett Besch challenges Joe Ficini. Field comes around and complete lap number 1. Your leader is Tony Ferrero. Sparky Lowe, the number 2 running position. Mike Dolan trying to get a wheel underneath John Gray in turn 2. Gray goes a little wide, bobbles just a tad. That's enough for Mike Dolan to come right to the inside of him. And wheel to wheel they run up into turn 3. Mike Dolan challenging on the inside. John Gray up on the high side. They stay side to side through turn number 4. Got a car turned around up in turn number 2. That's Wally Pullen sitting on the inside of the apron of turn number 2. We're going to stay green on the speedway. Tony Ferrero leads Sparky Lowe in that number 2 spot. Green flag still remaining out on the speedway, and it's a 2-car battle up in front for the lead. And a 2-car race for third place as Mike Dolan continues to work on John Gray. Gray so far able to battle off the challenges from Mike Dolan, as now we go yellow here. Yellow lights coming out September 20th. We'll also host Sportsman Division cars for the first time. So still exciting sportsman racing to come here in the 1992 season as we go back to green. And the race up in front with Tony Ferrero, Sparky Lowe, and now Mike Dolan as John Gray falls back to the number 4 running spot. Mike Dolan able to get around on a restart to take away the number 3 running position. That puts Gray back in 4th. Fred Besch now up to 5th. Joe Ficini rides in 6th. Last Saturday night's winner, Butch McWirt, challenging him up to the high side in turn 4. Your leader, Tony Ferrero. The front 3 lead cars all run single file up through turns 1 and 2 on the East End banking. Ferrero stays in command. The Earth Artist excavating car, the 77S. Sparky Lowe in the number 2 spot. Mike Dolan races right with them. 3 cars under a blanket up in a turn number 3. Nose to tail they ride. Here's Dolan, a little bit of racing room underneath Sparky Lowe coming down in front. 4 laps to go. Halfway marker is out. 4 laps are in and 4 to go here. They continue to run 1, 2, 3 with Tony Ferrero, Sparky Lowe, and Mike Dolan. And that race for 4th place now finds Fred Besch up to challenge John Gray. They run side to side into turn 3 as Fred Besch takes the long way around. John Gray making the pass. He's your new 4th place man. Fred Besch on the move in car number 6. That puts Gray back in the number 5 running position. Running in 6th is the 128 of Joe Ficini. In 7th is Butch McWirt in the 32. Look out as John Gray loops it in turn number 2. And the 32 of Butch McWirt is collected in turn number 2. And that brings out the yellow with 5 laps complete. And then there is Wally Pullen in the orange number 20. Harry Millard, green flag in hand, lets it fly. We're back to racing action in the sportsman class. And up for a challenge on the lead here is Sparky Lowe. Tony Ferrero able to keep Lowe back in that number 2 spot. Mike Dolan 3rd, and look at Fred Besch charge. Freddie Besch looks like he may have one of the faster cars on the speedway right now as he's back in the number 4 running spot. Let's see what he can do with Mike Dolan just ahead of him. This time around, 2 laps are left. 2 to go here for Tony Ferrero. Sparky Lowe again looks to the inside, has to pull it right back in line to the banking in turn 1. Mike Dolan tries to get that wheel underneath off of 2. They continue to run nose to tail on the back straightaway. Fred Besch has backed out of it a little bit now. He's content to finish right there in the number 4 spot. But these 3 cars right ahead of him are going to battle it out to the wire here. Tony Ferrero in the number 1 spot. White flag flies. Let's see what Sparky Lowe and Mike Dolan can do. Up into turn 1 they fly. Now Lowe with a problem. Sparky Lowe looks like a tire going down on the car. He's going to slow off of turn number 2 with a flat tire. He'll try to nurse it home in a qualifying position here. Tony Ferrero, your leader. Mike Dolan in 2nd. Fred Besch now 3rd. Sparky Lowe driving the car for everything he can as the checkered flag is out. And Tony Ferrero picks up the victory. Mike Dolan comes across the line in 2nd. Freddie Besch finishes in 3rd.
Top the flag tower, looking him over. Green flag flies. Vosburg and Kokosa bring him down into turn 1. Kokosa on the outside with a slight advantage. Vosburg back in 2nd now. Eddie Burns rides 3rd. Sparky Lowe 4th. And Tony Ferrero rounds out your top 5.
Chris Kokosa leads the field up into turn number 3. Ken Vosburg in that number 2 spot. Everybody looking good at the head of the field, but then it's 3 wide racing further back in the pack.
Down they come across the stripe to put lap number 1 in the books. Chris Kokosa, the youngster, out in front. Another one of the youngsters out here with us, Kenny Vosburg, runs in 2nd.
And that point race, Guy Sheldon currently holds down the number 8 position, and Art Collins, the current high point man, races in 12th. That's the way they shape up as we complete lap 2.
Down the front stretch they come, everybody racing single file. We got to go all the way outside of the top 10 to find a side-by-side battle. And that's back there around that Art Collins battle as Jay Terry trying to make a move on Art Collins, working down the backstretch.
Car on the move up into turn 3 is the Sparky Lowe machine, the 77S, the Earth Artist excavating car. He's in a number 4 spot, challenging for 3rd from Eddie Burns.
Down the front stretch they come now. Fred Besch looks to crack the top 5 for the first time. Freddie Besch with the number 6. gets around the outside of Tony Ferraro. So now Fred Besch cracking the top 5 for the first time.
Behind Besch in the number 6 spot is a great range between the 52A of Tony Ferraro and the 91M of George Marcus as they go side to side right into turn number 4. Your leader stays Kokosa.
Keep an eye on the race inside the race. Guy Sheldon and Art Collins. Watch how many cars remain between the two of them as Art Collins has the benefit of watching the backside of Guy Sheldon.
Chris Kokosa, your leader, up in a turn number 4. Kenny Bosberg works with him in that number 2 spot. Then it's Eddie Burns holding down the number 3 position there. Here comes Sparky Lowe to challenge.
Sparky Lowe in the Earth Artist Excavating 77S, a 2-time winner here in 1992. Looking to chalk up number 3, currently runs in the 4th position.
Racing in 5th is Fred Besch in the PMC number 6 car, and George Marcus has now gotten away from that battle with Tony Ferraro. He's all alone in number 6 spot, and he's there to challenge Fred Besch.
Your first 2 runners still here right together, looking to put win number 1 in the 1992 season here before this one closes out. Chris Kokosa, your leader.
In the battle for the point title here, the 1992 season between the 2 front runners in the point standings. Guy Sheldon, the Mopar-powered 518, continues to run in 8th. And now Artie Collins has moved up a couple of spots. He's in 10th. Up into turn 2 now, Kenny Vosberg starting to pressure Chris Kokosa a little more as Vosberg only about 2 car lengths behind Kokosa. It's a 2-car breakaway up in front with Kokosa and Vosberg pulling away from third place man Eddie Burns. Burns holds down that number 3 spot. Sparky Lowe races 4th, Fred Besch 5th. Up into turn 1 now, your leaders still running 1-2. Kenny Vosberg bobbled just a bit. That's going to allow a little bit of buffer there for Kokosa. Then it's still Eddie Burns 3rd, Sparky Lowe 4th, and Fred Besch round out your top 5. Current High Point man, Alligator Art Collins, has picked up 1 more spot. He's now running 9th, right behind 8th place man Guy Sheldon. If they finish this way, Art Collins would be the champion. George Marcus now looking to make a move on Freddie Besch. Marcus down to the inside. Besch holding off the challenge as they exit turn 2. 2 cars up in front continue to lead at the head of the field, nose and tail. The stand in France, Texaco, number 00 car, the Springfield, Mass. It's Chris Kokosa, your leader. Halfway home, they're past halfway now. As this time by, it was the halfway marker. Car turned around in turn 4. Yellow lights coming on the speedway. That is the number 97 of Bobby Hackle Jr. Bobby Hackle turned around up in turn number 4. 10 to go. Out of turn 4, your leader, Chris Kokosa, picks up the pace. Green flag flies. Kenny Vosberg follows in 2nd, and Sparky Lowe and Eddie Burns battle for 3rd spot. Eddie Burns holds that position. Now here comes Fred Besch to battle with Sparky Lowe. Tight racing action for the 4th, 5th place out there. As Fred Besch is your new 4th place man. Sparky Lowe into the wall in turn 3. A problem on the 77S cars. He got right in the Armco barrier. We got another car turned around up in turn number 4. So we go yellow here for the 2nd time in this event. To beat Collins by 2 positions here. Ready to go back to green. Out of turn 4, Chris Kokosa picking up the pace. Green flag flies. We're going back racing, but yellow lights coming back out on the speedway. Kokosa picking up the pace down in turn 3. Now through turn 4, Harry Millard looks him over. Green flag flies. We're going back to racing here. As Fred Besch now looking down to the inside of Eddie Burns. Burns holding on to 3rd spot. Besch trying to take the opportunity to make a bid down the backstretch. Settles in the 4th spot, followed by George Marcus in 5th. Good nose-to-tail racing as now George Marcus takes a look underneath. Can't quite do anything there, and Guy Sheldon takes advantage, makes the pass, and he's your new 5th place man. Guy Sheldon now rides in 5th place and exactly 3 spots ahead of our car. Turn around, Kenny Vosberg in trouble. Sheldon gets turned around. Also involved the 68 of Art Collins. Guy Sheldon getting turned around. Art Collins coming in late.
We don't believe Collins hit Vosberg too hard, but we'll see if both cars... 11 down, 9 to go here in tonight's 20-lap feature event. Chris Kokosa now picking up the pace out of turn 4. Harry Millard waves the green flag once again. We're gone back to racing. Eddie Burns now shown as your second place car. Fred Besch rides third. Car dropping off the pace is Jay Terry's 24. Jay Terry dropping off the pace with the 24 up here in turn 1. Red lights have been extinguished. We'll be going back to racing this time. Chris Kokosa picking up the pace out of turn 4. Harry Millard waves the green flag one more time here. And down into turn 1, Kokosa your leader. Now Freddie Besch right on the back bumper of Eddie Burns. Burns rides second, Besch third. Donnie Corellis has now made his way up to 4th. Mike Dolan shows 5th.
Freddie Besch running the number 3 position, challenging for the number 2 spot. He really rim rides up into turn number 4. Chris Kokosa, your leader, he holds his line here in the front stretch.
Down the front stretch they come. First 5 cars, all single file. Ronnie Blake runs 6th, 7th spot, the 1 of Davey Werber. 8th position, the 32 of Butch McWhirter. 9th, the 77S of Sparky Lowe. And rounding out your top 10 is the 68 of Art Collins.
3 cars up in front. Chris Kokosa, Eddie Burns, and Fred Besch. 1, 2, 3, they run. Down the front stretch they go.
Then it's back to 4th place car, Donnie Corellis. 5th place, Mike Dolan. Your first 5 cars all right there together, single file. And Dolan currently running in 5th as they work their way down the backstretch.
Mike Dolan in the number 5 running position, trying to close in on 4th place man Donnie Corellis through the corners on the west end, banking. Corellis fishtails through turn number 4. Dolan going to take advantage here on the inside. He's your new 4th place man.
Eddie Burns drops off the pace. That moves Dolan up to 3rd. Now Eddie Burns loses power here on the Eckert Construction 116. Looks like Burns' evening is over.
Out in front, it continues to be the Stan and Fran Texaco 00 car of Chris Kokosa out of Ludlow, Massachusetts. He's in command and headed for his first Sportsman Division victory.
Fred Besch rides right there in 2nd spot. Now as they make their way down the backstretch, we'll make a move on a lap car. Kokosa stays clean, Fred Besch in tow.
Then it's quite a bit of distance back to 3rd place runner Mike Dolan of the Firehouse Auto Parts number 26. He's followed by Donnie Corellis in 4th. Up in front, a 2-car battle shapes up.
Fred Besch starting to chip away on Chris Kokosa's lead. Kokosa slips just a bit. That's going to allow Besch to close it up. He tries to make a move, but has to back out of it on the backstretch.
Chris Kokosa stays in command. He's got formidable competition in the form of Fred Besch. Kokosa slows a little bit at turn number 4, and Besch again trying to take advantage.
Chris Kokosa may be seeing his tires going away as he's getting higher and higher on the racetrack. Freddie Besch right behind him, mirror image down the backstretch, rides in a very close 2nd spot.
It's a 2-car breakaway again as it's quite a bit of ground back to 3rd place man Mike Dolan, who sits all alone at number 3 spot. But what an outstanding run up in front. Chris Kokosa and Fred Besch.
2 laps to go now for Chris Kokosa. 2 laps for Freddie Besch to set him up and make a move. Besch now 2 car lengths behind. We'll see if he can run him down the backstretch.
Kokosa your leader. Besch in the number 2 spot. Dolan still 3rd. In the race for 4th place with Donnie Corellis and Davey Werber. They are running 4th and 5th on the field. Butch McWhirter at number 6 running position as the white flag flies.
White flag, 1 lap around the high banks here for Chris Kokosa. Kokosa's going to feel the pressure of Besch this time. Down the backstretch, Besch will make a run at him. Off of turn 4, Chris Kokosa will pick up the pace, looking for the green flag for the last time this evening as Kokosa takes it down into turn 1. Fred Besch has 1 lap to make a run on him now off of turn 2. Guy Sheldon trying to put a car between himself and Art Collins. Watching the race up front and a watch mid-race back. Down they go for this final lap.
Guy Sheldon making the pass of Ronnie Blake up at turn number 4. Checkers coming on. Chris Kokosa picks up the victory. Fred Besch finishes in 2nd. Mike Dolan comes home in 3rd. Butch McWhirter finishes in 4th. Sparky Lowe 5th. George Marcus finishes in 6th. Guy Sheldon in 7th. Ron Blake in 8th. And Artie Collins in 9th. Martin has made his way down to trackside, and he'll be down there trackside to pick up a word with tonight's winner of this Madsen Overhead Doors Sportsman Division main event of the evening, Chris Kakosa, scoring his first career victory here in the Sportsman ranks and becoming the 16th different winner of the 1992 season. Well, hey, race fans, hope you enjoyed yourself at the track tonight. Remember, our 40th anniversary racing season is coming to a quick conclusion here. Next Saturday, the early start that we've talked about, with the back gates opening at 12 noon, the front gate opening at 2 o'clock, warm-ups also at 2 o'clock, and we'll go racing at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, next Saturday afternoon, with street stock competition. So if you're a street stock fan, you want to make sure you're out to the Speedway early next Saturday. You don't want to miss any of that exciting street stock racing. It will be championship caliber racing. We'll have extra distance events as Coca-Cola presents the annual Race of Kings. And that's always not just a big deal for the 358 modifieds or sportsman cars, but also for all of our street stock competitors as well. They'll be here next Saturday. And as we said, John Flack and Jimmy Horton expected to be on hand competing with the 358 modifieds as well, as Coca-Cola presents the Race of Kings next Saturday afternoon and evening. It'll be a long day, an afternoon and evening of racing competition here for the Race of Kings next Saturday. 2 weekends away, it's the Coors National 200 for modifieds. 200-lap championship event. As we said, that's one of the 7 prestigious races on the Sunoco Racing Fuels Dirt Modified Championship Trail schedule for 1992. That kicks off next weekend at Canandaigua, stop number 2 in that 7-race series. Will be here at the Super Dirt Speedway on Sunday afternoon, September 20th. Race time at 1:30. 1:30 in the afternoon, the Coors National 200. On top of that, the sportsman cars will also be here. It's a big twin bill, a great value for the buck, as we'll have the Sunoco Racing Gasoline Race Safe Systems Hoosier Tire Dirt Sportsman Championship Trail for the Dirt Sportsman cars.
Congratulations, make your way around the front of the car here. I'll tell you, you worked for that one, pal.
Oh, that was great. I've been waiting a long, long time for this.
Chris, it looked like the tires started going away at the end. Looked like you had your hands full.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, once the tires cooled down, they didn't really want to come back. Just held on. Guys behind me were terrific. They didn't work me over too much. We just ran a clean race.
Well, I'll tell you, you had to fight for it all the way. You had some good, close competition. Looked like Freddie Besch was going to give you a handful at the end there. But the youngster showed the veterans a little bit of way around the racetrack tonight, and you came out the better man.
Yeah, Freddie ran a great race. I saw him a couple times below me, and like I said, he just ran a nice, clean race, and I thank him for that.
Well, Chris, I'm going to let you get to celebrate, and I can see there's going to be some celebrating done. First career win here in the Sportsman Division coming tonight on Madsen Overhead Doors Night for Chris Kakosa out of Pittsfield.
And we congratulate Chris Kakosa on a superb victory here, first career victory in the sportsman class. And that was one, of course, he will always remember for his entire life. The very first time he scores a victory here in the high banks of the Super Dirt Speedway in this sportsman division. Unofficially, with the 7th place performance, Guy Sheldon nips Art Collins for the track title by 1 point. That's unofficial now, but by our calculations, Art Collins picks up 12 points for a 9th place finish, and Guy Sheldon picks up 16 points for a 7th place finish. The point separation there would be 4. Collins was leading by 3 coming in, so that would put Guy Sheldon unofficially as the track champion, our Budweiser track champion in the sportsman class. And of course, as we said earlier, our Budweiser track champion in the modified class is Kenny Tremont for the 7th time in his career here at the high banks of the Super Dirt Speedway. We congratulate both of those drivers for great seasons here in the 1992 campaign. I want to thank all your race fans for your support all season long here. It's been a tough season in a lot of different ways. That is for sure, with the weatherman not cooperating, especially in the early part of the season, and a lot of threatening nights and so on, but you folks have come through to support the racing here. Never fail. We do indeed appreciate your support. We've had some great racing in all of our divisions, the modified, sportsman, and street stock ranks as well. And we thank you again for your support, but things aren't over yet. We do have 3 more shows on the schedule here in 1992. As we've said earlier, next week, the Race of Kings show. 2 weeks away, we have the Coors National 200, the Sunday afternoon show that'll be so big. And then our final racing event in the 1992 campaign will be the Dick's Automotive Cannonball Run and Street Stock Spectacular, a double-point show for the Street Stockers. Will be our final racing event, and that's 3 weekends away, 3 weeks from tonight.
I never thought Sheldon was going to come back out again.
Of course, we'll be taking the photographs here, the accolades in victory lane for our 2 Budweiser track champions for the 1992 season, Kenny Tremont and Guy Sheldon, as they back the cars down for the photographers here to make the trade papers and so on. Our track champions for the 1992 season, Kenny Tremont and Guy Sheldon. Oh, if Dan Martin's still down there trackside, maybe Dan can get a word with our track champions for 1992.
Okay, thank you, John. We're down here with a new face and an old face down here in Victory Lane. Going to congratulate our track champions for 1992. First of all, Kenny Tremont. It wasn't one of those years that you racked up the wins, but boy, it still remains the same.
Good. Thank you very much. There's a lot of people that I got to thank, and first of all, I'd just like to say that I do appreciate my sponsors. You know, somewhere along the line, I was misquoted in an article, and you know, I'd like to straighten that out right now because, first of all, Mattson Overhead Doors has been with us for a few years, and I'd just like to tell Guy and Patty that I do appreciate you, and you are good people, and you've helped us a long time, and you know, I hope you stay with us for a long time too, and I appreciate it. Also, like to say, you know, Fane Concrete. They came on this year as a new sponsor, and without these guys, I couldn't do it. And I just want to let these 2 guys especially know that I really do appreciate you guys, and without you, I can't do it, and I won't even pretend to do it. And you know, I'd like to thank also Joe Wunderlich. He's been with us for a good probably 11, 12 years, and he's a super guy, and he's always behind us. I can always count on Joe. And we also picked up like Doherty Brothers this year. They're house builders, and they you know, they're good guys, and I'm glad to have them on. And we've got some people that have been with us a long while too, and like J&R Auto Body Supply, Firehouse Auto Parts, Boomer's Performance, Whalen Chevy Olds, Red Cap Sales. They help us out with some Kendall Motor Oil, and Maloney's Flower Shop, United Engine Technology, Sunoco Racing Gas, and Eddie Munger with Megs R Us. And you know, I also like to thank the people that made the cake for me tonight, Katie and Judy who made it, and Chase and Bob Jr. and Kathy and Ma. And then I'd also like to give a special thanks to my crew, Johnny Albanese, Mike Sullivan, Wes Howard, Eddie Biedick, Steve Wilbur, Mike Sipperly, Ray Deemer, R.J. Butterfield, and I'm sure I probably forgot, you know, 1 or 2 guys, but it's not intentional. But, you know, without the sponsors, we couldn't do it, and, you know, we really do appreciate you guys, and if it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be here, that's for sure. Thanks a lot.
Well, Kenny, speaking like a true professional, of course, also coming down into tonight's action, you had one of those situations where all you had to do was take the green, but no sandbagging in this place. Kenny Tremont is Kenny Tremont, and you're in for it all the way.
Yeah, you know, also, you know, Billy Decker had a heck of a season. He gave us quite a battle, and, you I'd just like to say that, I respect their whole team, and his brother and his dad and Rick, his crew chief, are all good people, and they gave us a good run, and there was no problem. And I know it's easy for me to sit up here right now and say that, but they definitely had us worried, and we dug in and fought and worked, and we were lucky, and I think I'm real fortunate. I'm really happy to be here, and it's tough. It's not easy, and a lot of work goes into it. A lot of people's feelings get hurt sometimes, and it's not an easy sport, but we give it our all, and thankfully, this year come out real good, and if I can do it again next year, I'd be really fortunate.
Well, chalking up number 7 career here as far as track championships, Kenny Tremont, winner of this year's 1992 modified track champion. Now switching on to a new face down here as we get into Guy Sheldon. Bring it down here where they can get a good look at you. I'll tell you, the smile is out. The war has been won. The battle stage out here on the front stretch, it seemed like. But Guy, you guys certainly, you had to fight for this one all the way from night number 1. 16 different winners in the Sportsman, and you're coming out here on top as far as points. They said your father doesn't have a fingernail left after tonight, but you're not saying much for being a track champion in 1992.
I think I'm still in shock. It's a real honor to be a track champion at my home track. I've been coming here since I was a little kid, and it's such a great honor to be here. I'm just so happy. I got to thank my crew, Glenn Karkner, my dad, and my wife, Brian, Dave, Harry, Jimmy. If I left anybody out, I'm sure they'll understand. My sponsors, Sheldon Oil. If it wasn't for my dad, I wouldn't be here racing. Jiffy Lube, Boomers, the Bedell family has been super to me all year long. L&M Motors, Dave Malstead, he's been there since day one, since I raced. And it's just a real honor to be standing up here right now.
Well, Guy, coming down into tonight's action again, just like Kenny, it was one of those situations where, all you had to do was just finish a couple spots ahead of Art, right? And one of them deals where...
Easier said than done.
I'll tell you, certainly a class act all the way. You guys fought a heck of a race tonight, and you did come in behind the 8 ball. You had to finish ahead of Art. You didn't have the luxury of a point lead. It's been one of those types of years, and coming out on top has really got to feel good, and I'd like to congratulate you. This year's 1992 Sportsman Track Champion, Guy Sheldon.
Well, thanks from Dan Martin, and congratulations to both of these drivers, Kenny Tremont and Guy Sheldon, on their Budweiser Track Champions here in the 1992 season. So as we conclude the ceremony down here trackside, our championship ceremony for 1992, crowning our Budweiser track champions. Remind you that the clubhouse is open till the wee hours of the morning to talk about tonight's racing program of the 1992 season. Still with a few more shows left here at our 40th anniversary year of competition. So I invite you to head on over to the clubhouse. Always great food and good drink over there and good conversation in the clubhouse all night long here at the track. The rest of you, they'll be heading over in the pit area perhaps. I ask you to be careful as you head on over there, but we do invite you down. There are a number of the race teams hanging around to meet and greet you over there in the infield pit area. As you head on home this evening, we ask you to drive safely. Watch out for the other guy. I want to see you back here for our Race of Kings program next Saturday afternoon.
Yeah,